Hello YouTube, welcome back to my garage. So I was getting ready to start another project on this 2025 Ranger Raptor. I was really excited to get this. This is the newest version of the Ranger Raptor bumper from ADD, which is Addictive Desert Designs. They're locally here in the valley down in Chandler, Arizona. And they make a couple different versions of this. This is the newest one that takes the 6-inch LED lights instead of the bar. The earlier version just had I think it was like a 20-inch light bar that was inset. And I actually got the lights already, so I was getting so excited about this. I've got two that are spots, two that are floods, and so those were getting ready to go in. And then, you know, I started looking at this bumper, and the design is awesome. I mean, there is a lot of detail here from all the bends, the wells, the finishing. I mean, they did a really nice job of laying this bumper out. And you can go to their website and you can see how this actually looks on a truck. And they give you the two options down here for mounting different lights. They give you the front mounting holes right here, which are for the Baja Design lights. And then in the back here, they've got the RD for rigid. So for the poor people like me, you know, you have to buy the rigid lights. They give you the mounting holes down here. So anyway, so I started looking at this. I started reading through the instructions, and there were some things about this bumper that really irritated me, and it made me hesitant to put this thing in. And you know, I thought, I don't like the way some of these things are done, so I think I'm just gonna return this bumper. Since they're locally, I could put it back in the box, put it in my truck and drive it down, drop it off, get my money back. But whoa, not so fast. This bumper was almost $2,700 with tax, and you also have to buy this thing right here. This is the relocation bracket for your adaptive cruise control, and it just mounts up or along the grill shutter in front of the radiator. So, you know, if you're going to buy this bumper for $2,400, they should throw this in for free. Seriously. Anyway, so that's the bumper to relocate. That's $200 more. And then by the time you put tax on it, you're almost at $2,700 for this bumper. And I thought, you know, the things I don't like about it, I'm just going to return it. So I started looking at their return policy on their website, and there is a 25% restocking fee. That is ridiculous. And then on top of that, if you got free shipping, and which I thought was great, they freighted it for free right here to the house. But if you're going to return it, they're going to back charge you what they paid for the freight truck to drop that off in your driveway. I mean, that's almost $1,000 you're going to have to eat if you try to return this bumper back to ADD. And that's kind of like them saying, yeah, our products are flawed and we're going to make it very painful for you to return these things. So once you buy this thing, it's yours, man. You pretty much own it unless you're willing to take almost $1,000 hit to send it back to them. So, okay, the three things that are absolute crap on this bumper. So if you had an earlier version, I have a 25, and I think the 24s and 25s, they did away with this 5 and 6 parking sensor right here on the end. So my truck, if you look at the bumper, doesn't have one on the outside. So the later models, they went to 4 sensors instead of 6. But they still make this hole right here. So they thought, okay, well, you know, the late model trucks don't have this sensor, so we need something to put in the hole. And this is what they came up with. It's like they sent one of their guys down to Home Depot and said, hey, find something to plug that hole. So they give you this shitty little grommet right here, and then they give you this shitty little pipe plug. I mean, this is the pipe plug for to stick in the end of like 3/4 inch tubing to seal off the end of it. And they want you to stick that grommet in there. Then they want you to shove that pipe plug in there. And that's BS, man. I mean, that is some half-ass shit right there to close that hole up. I mean, how hard would it be to delete this feature right here when you had this flat stock on the Laser to just not even have a hole right there? So, you know, that's crap, man. They should have at least made a really nice bolt-in plug or something, but a grommet and a pipe plug after spending almost $2,700, yeah, that's a total fail. So, I mean, there's another option you could do for like $20. You can go to Amazon and you can buy a whole box of these these sensor holders, and then for like 12 bucks, you can get another Ford parking sensor. So you could come in here, and this is a better option, is you could just take this thing and shove it in the hole and snap that in there, and then you would have a place to put a sensor on the back, and then of course you wouldn't have a wire connected to it, but at least it would look factory. At least you could put this thing in and go, yeah, it'll look factory. I mean, it's not going to work, or it's not going to be hooked up to anything, but at least you would have that in there instead of a grommet and a plastic pipe plug. And that's crap. Okay, that's the first issue I have with this bumper. The second issue I have is this hole right here. This is for the forward parking sensor, and you can see it's a round hole. And where these are kind of sculpted out so you can only put your sensor holder in one way. Okay, here's the process for getting the sensor out of your old bumper and putting it into this one. So if you go to the truck, they're talking about this sensor right here in your lower valance. And I'm going to tell you right now, this silver piece right here, just this silver piece right here, if you go to fordparts.com, this part is $900. Okay, and I'm going to show you a picture of what they want you to do right here. You to take a chisel, screwdriver, razor blade, something, and there's a welded plate back here behind this thing. They want you to pry that plate off as best you can, and then they want you to double stick tape it to the back of the new bumper. I mean, double stick tape, that's ridiculous, right? And once you break that weld off of here, this part right here is ruined. I mean, you cannot buy this piece to put it back in. It's welded on, it's made at the factory that way. It was not made to be taken apart. And they want you to destroy this $900 piece so they could take what's left of that piece you take out of there, and they give you the worst two-sided tape. This is the Scotch brand. It's not even good 3M VHB automotive tape. They want you to stick this on the back of that sensor, and here's how they want you to install it. Really sad. And there's another guy in Texas that did an install video on this same bumper right here, and before he even shot his video, he had mentioned that the tape already fell off after a few days, and he had to get back in there behind there and JB welded in there. So that's the second total BS on this bumper. I mean, why wouldn't you just make a hole that's profiled like this over here for the same thing, and that way you could take another one of these factory inserts, and of course this doesn't fit in here, but then you could just put this in and pop your sensor in and it'd be done. But no, they want you to destroy that valance on your bumper. I mean, so much for selling the bumper to try to cover up, recover some of your money that you invested in this thing. And that's just hokey as hell. That is absolute crap. Okay, that's the second gripe I have with this. They should have made this to look like this, so you can put in a stock sensor and not have to destroy your bumper and do some kind of hokey double-sided tape crap. That's not going to last. Okay, that's the second one. And the third, final. When you go to bolt this bumper on, guess what's right here in my hand? All the hardware to hold the front bumper to the front of your truck. This is it right here. 4 little tiny 3/8 bolts. That is all that's going to hold your bumper on. And what's even worse is they want you to put these into nut plates. I mean, if you bolt this bumper on using this hardware, you're liable to tap a shopping cart in the Costco parking lot and your bumper could fall off. I mean, this makes this bumper completely cosmetic. There is absolutely no strength for this to hold this bumper onto your truck. I mean, that's ridiculous. Now, when you take the stock bumper off, there's a big nut plate from the factory that looks something like this. I tried to find a better picture of it, but I couldn't find an actual picture of that part, so I have this rendition off of Ford's website. It looks like this. That bracket can be trimmed off. The little leg that comes off to the side, that could be cut off, and then you could come around here on the backside and you could put that remaining piece with the 2 welded nuts right here on the backside of this, and then you could go into this with the factory bolts and have some nice big factory bolts to hold this on. I don't know why their engineers didn't think about that, but instead they want you to use nut plates and 3/8 bolts, and then they give you giant fender washers, because look how sloppy these things are. I mean, these are just, they're so sloppy in there, and they want you to take that nut plate and shove it up inside like that and use that to bolt your bumper on. And then your bumper's not actually bolted to the frame, it's bolted to the back of this. So this is right here is the only thing that's making contact between your bumper and your frame. So that's the third BS thing about this bumper. I mean, other than that, I mean, they did a nice job of welding it all up, and like there's a bunch of welds in here. It would have been nice if they would have included some little tabs with holes in it for some wire management, because once you get all your LED lights wired up, there's no place to put the wires. You just kind of have to, you know, tuck them in the best you can somewhere. But it would have been nice to have some little tabs that you could route the wires up through some zip ties or something, because you pretty much wires, you got to come over to this side of the bumper to go up with the rest of your harness. And so that's where I'm at with this bumper. I don't know if I'm going to put this in, or maybe I just sell it on Craigslist or something, because I'm not comfortable with crap like this after spending almost $2,700. And, you know, somebody didn't think this one out at all. This one here could have made it like this instead of a hole. You wouldn't have to destroy the piece that comes off of there, and it would have been a much better setup. So anyway, I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to call this video part 1. I don't know if there's going to be a part 2. I do have a machine shop, and I thought about maybe machining up a nice bushing for this to go into from the back side, and find some way to bolt it in from the back, because double-sided tape, sorry folks, man, that is just not good enough for me. I mean, the people that buy these bumpers, let me know if you bought one of these in the comments, man. Let me know how yours turned out, because, you know, most people would probably be okay with just gluing the shit to the back of the bumper, but no, not me, man. That's not going to fly. That is not how I do things. So anyway, let me know your thoughts, and I don't know if I'm going to continue with this, but if I do, I'll make a part 2. All right, thanks for watching, and maybe we'll talk soon.